Hi there everybody, it's me, Blake Judge, and today we will be talking about the CAW community creator wrestler, not the crow that goes caw caw caw. But before we begin, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you like the video. Make sure to hit the little bell too. And we'll be starting right now. Okay, so creator wrestler, I wanna say was like started 2009 2010. It was like a peak point, so to say. It's where the community really started to grow up and up, so to say. Also, one thing I do want to point out is that Creator Wrestler is not solely dedicated to the WWE video games. It's basically dedicated to all wrestling video games that you can create a wrestler. So it's not just WWE. WWE is just really popular at the moment. For all the feds out there, but with games like AEW, Wrestling Code, and Ultra Violence. We do have Fire Pro Wrestling that came out a few years ago, but the CAW community tends to play and like games that are like 3D-ish, like WWE 2K and such, for an example. WWE 2K has actually been one of the main games, but because of those games that I mentioned earlier, things are gonna change up a bit, so to say. When it comes to the size of the community, on the YouTube side, I have seen channels that are like 30 or 40k subs. I don't know if there are ones that are bigger, and I don't know how big people are on the Twitch side of things. But I do know that there's like hundreds of people in it. I could be wrong, but take it as you will. So now I want to talk about terminology, which does play a factor in the community. So when it comes to different type of feds, you have people saying or asking, is this an E fed? Is this a STEM fed? Etc. So on and so forth. There really isn't any defined answer. The most common terms I've seen is E-Fed and STEM-Fed, which E-Fed to me is basically like you're like live streaming the shows and live streaming the matches as they play out, and it's AI versus AI. And STEM-Feds is where you script everything, make things go the way you want them to. The live streaming AI versus AI matches doesn't really go like that because whoever wins in it wins and such. Of course, you do have people who play the wrestlers themselves to make matches go how they want to go. It does take more skill, but they can like take control of a wrestler and start like fighting against like the AI or another player if they have somebody else with them for the matches, and do it that way if they want to. There really isn't a definitive answer because SimFed or EFed can have different meaning to different people. So there's like no real correct answer, so to say. All the terms I do know about what shows are called is EFed, League, HLL, I don't know what that one actually means, Sim, AI versus AI, VFed, which I guess like virtual fed, and then you know this CAW, which what the community is called. What I commonly found out is that SimFed always standard for scripted fed, meaning all the matches are scripted. E-feds are AI controlled, and there's like comp feds where it's like you're facing against another person. Basically, that's all I pretty much know that I've seen people usually go with, but people interpret things differently, so it's kind of hard. Another terminology that you guys should know about is baby dog CAWs. Okay, so if you didn't know, in games like in WWE 2K games, you can input images and such, and you can actually do some editing and such to give your own wrestler some custom clothing, so to say. And some people, and they do got skills for doing this, but there are some people who make their wrestlers kind of look like they're like a Playboy wrestler, so to say. Basically, they're wearing like sexy lingerie, so to say. You know, like a Playboy model would and such. Again, they got skills, but that is a controversial topic, from my understanding. If you're watching the stream, then I have an image up of one. If not, I'll just have an image up to give you an idea what they would look like at the very least. The reason why it's controversial is because of their sex appeal and such, and that makes like people not like them because how sexualized they are and whatnot. These baby doll CAWs are mostly female from what I've experienced, witnessed, and understand. So I couldn't mention this at the beginning, but I do have my own wrestling fed league called Valkyries of Wrestling. And I will tell you my personal experience in the community after I'm talking about the good and the bad parts of it. And contrary to what TV tropes tell you, no, not everyone in the CAW community has too much time on their hands. I have a full-time job and it's kind of easy to do feds, especially if you're gonna do AI versus AI in universe mode. That can like take you like an hour or two to finish after you're done setting it up. That's like a few hours out of your day, so I don't know where this too much time on their hands comes from. I mean, you have like your regular average Joe playing hours and hours of video games basically, so even if it's just like a few hours, so it doesn't make that much sense to me at the very least. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the good stuff about the community, and then we're gonna go into the bad stuff. Oh wait, what? Good stuff, right. So in this community, I have, granted you can make friends in almost any community at the very least, but I have to say without the community, I wouldn't have some of the friends that I would have today. And people are nice in this community, you know, good old Joes and lasses and whatnot. People in the community do help each other out, which I know that may seem common, but people are willing to even make free logos for your custom wrestler, which would normally be a commission that you would pay for, but some people, they did it for free. You can find CAW communities pretty much anywhere on, well, YouTube obviously, because that's where they stream, as well as Twitch. There's Twitter and Instagram, and that's all I know of. I don't know about TikTok really, but those are the ones that I know about. Heck, I even seen people find a love interest and get married in this community. Oh yeah, no, I know I'm not presenting any evidence of this, but that's because I kind of want to leave their names blank. Because I'm not digging for all that stuff, and because I'm making people's names anonymous for reasons you'll find out why later. Some people in the community might give you tips and such on how to make your show better as well, which I have seen, how to improve your combo and such. So basically, content creators for the CAW feds or leagues or whatever you want to call them do help each other out. So feds or leagues, they set up Discords and Twitter locker rooms, and I don't know if you can get a chat room going in Instagram, where people talk to one another and they do promos and such to build up a bit of hype, which is nice because going into the feds and whatnot, people do roleplay and people may have their own little private DM roleplays and such. True relationships and friendships can form in this community, which yes, I do have some relationships with some of the people in the community. With that being said, now we're probably gonna go into the part that some of you are probably waiting for, the bad parts of the community. I have the saying that every community has a level of toxicity to it. It can be high toxicity, moderate, or very low. I have never been disproven of this once. Some people have agreed about this with me in the past as well. So I'm going to address the number one issue for this community. I think it's the number one issue. I could be wrong. Maybe it's number 2, 3 or something. But there are so many man children in the community. Like, ho. There are people in the community that know this is just a game, but these man children, if they lose one match, they'll go on to like the chat room or whatever, and they go whine about it and complain to the one who's running the Fed or League, if you prefer, about it, and flow this like temper tantrum or cause some actual legit drama just because they lost and they're overreacting with it. I understand if you're sensitive and such, I understand that, but there are people who take this overboard, and people gotta remind these people that, hey, this is just a game, relax, bud, it's gonna happen. But these man children that I'm talking about, they will create drama just because of something happened that they didn't like a loss, for example. Like, they will cause drama, get everybody in a hissy fit because of the smallest of things. I have seen them go out and troll other people on other accounts and whatnot, and just troll them, troll, la 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 la, all that stuff. And I'm not bringing up their names and such because I don't want to make the drama come back or anything. So if you want to yell at me for not showing you receipts, go ahead, I probably deserve it. I've been involved in some of this drama, and I didn't even want to get involved. But I got involved anyways. Over the stuff about like losing matches and such. And all these dramas that I was in about losing matches and such. It was AI versus AI, nobody was controlling them or anything. You watched the match, whoever won, and they were still pissed off about it. Then we had to tell them, hey look, all the stats are equal and such. And the AI decided to have this wrestler win and not yours. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just a game. But then they go off on a tangent still. Heck, I have like one of my friends who literally got trolled recently again by this one guy who was on TikTok and who was using his face because he's friends with some of the people that he don't like just because of that. And he's jealous of his Fed. So basically, yes, all these man children are basically the mostly cause all the problems. Are there Fed owners who are innocent? No, some of them are actually total douchebags. Like, you would have to pay them to get into like a match, but maybe you can see the justification for it. But there are Fed owners who do treat some of their cards and such like douchebags and jerks and asses. I think I know a few of them, but I don't know them anymore. Were some of them racist? Yeah. At the very least, if like the car community or a good portion of it knows that if a car owner or a Fed owner does some messed up crap, they're gonna call them out and spread around, be like, hey, look what this guy did. This person did some pedophile stuff, or this person did some racist stuff and whatnot. Which, yeah, those statements I just said were true. Also, community creations, or when you go and upload a call onto the web and whatnot for other people to like download and such, there are people who do take other people's calls and they change them up, make them maybe look a bit different, or maybe change their names and claim them as their own. This happens sometimes. It doesn't really happen that often, but it does happen. And if your wrestler is up there on community creations, and if somebody gets it, they gets it. It's all fair game. It's a public domain after all. The Barbie doll cars aren't really an issue. They're more controversial. You can see it's a good thing, bad thing. I wouldn't say it's toxic per se. If you think it is, you can tell me to try to correct me or convince me in the comments below. And in conclusion, yes, it's a small community that has a lot of toxicity in it, but if you still want to give it a go, if you still want to see how it is and such, go ahead, it's your decision. There are good people in the community. There's just a lot of men, children, and whatnot. So if you want to join the community, that is your decision. And I am basically done talking about it. So if you like the video, hit the like button, make sure I hit subscribe, because I do wrestling stuff on this channel, and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.